That night, I can't sleep. The hospital lights still burn behind my eyelids. I replay their voices, the sound of the pen scraping against paper. Something feels wrong, deeper than greed. I drive home through empty streets, headlights slicing through fog. My father's words echo in my head, half whispered, half drowned by machines. "Be careful," he said once. "Money changes people faster than illness." At home, I sit at his old desk, the one covered in dust and unpaid bills. Stacks of envelopes, receipts, and medical statements tower around me. My hands shake as I open the first one. Then another. And another. Each statement carries the same pattern. Large withdrawals. Unfamiliar signatures. Family business. One note reads beside a missing $5,000. Another line claims home repairs. There were no repairs. The roof still leaks. The heater, been dead for months. My stomach twists as I match dates to my brother's investments. Every failure he bragged about, every excuse he made, it's all here. My mother's name appears too. Joint account. Authorization code. I realize they've been siphoning money for months, maybe years. Not waiting for my father's death, feeding off his weakness while he breathes. The room feels smaller with every page I turn. The ticking clock on the wall sounds louder than my thoughts. I grab the folder and shove it into my bag. Tomorrow I'll confront them. But part of me knows they'll deny everything. They always do. They'll say I misunderstood, that I'm overreacting. They'll remind me I'm just the daughter who fixes watches. I press my palms against my eyes until I see sparks of color. The watch on my wrist ticks steadily, indifferent to my panic. Dad taught me to listen to the rhythm of time, not the noise around it. Clarity comes between seconds, he used to say. Maybe he was right. Maybe clarity is realizing that family doesn't always mean love. I close my eyes and picture him lying there, chest rising with effort. He doesn't know what they've done, or maybe he does, and it's killing him faster. I think of the nights I stayed beside him, holding his hand through the pain. How he'd squeeze twice, our secret code for thank you. He hasn't done that in days. Tomorrow, I'll look for answers, not permission. I'll go back to the hospital and find proof. The truth hides in plain sight, under signatures, in silence, in fear. I can feel it tightening around us like wire. They think I'm fragile. They think I'll give up. But they've forgotten who taught me patience, who taught me precision, who taught me to take broken things and make them work again. The night hums outside my window. I place the folder under my pillow. It feels like sleeping on a loaded secret. When the clock strikes 3, I whisper to the dark. I won't let them take what's his. The ticking answers back, steady and certain like a vow. The next morning, the hospital smells sharper than usual. Disinfectant and fear mixed into the same stale air. I walk in with a folder pressed tight against my chest. My brother is already there, leaning against the window like he owns the place. My mother stands beside him, arms crossed, pearls glinting under the light. "You're early," she says without looking at me. "I needed to check on Dad," I answer. Her lips curl slightly. "Visiting hours start at noon. New rule." I freeze. "Since when?" "Since now," she replies. "Your father needs rest, not noise." TU letter 1EA5 and smirks, scrolling on his phone. "He gets agitated when you're here," he adds. I step closer, ignoring them both. My father's eyes flutter open, heavy with medication. His oxygen tube hums softly. "Hi, Dad," I whisper. His gaze drifts toward me, then to the folded papers in my hand. He knows I found something. The heart monitor beeps faster, like it understands too. M letter 1EB9 clears her throat sharply. "If you keep upsetting him, we'll have to restrict your visits completely." I clench my jaw but say nothing. Arguing now would only hurt him more. When they leave the room, I check the chart at the foot of his bed. Physical therapy, canceled. Respiratory treatments, canceled. Medications, adjusted without explanation. The air feels colder. A nurse enters, tall, broad-shouldered, eyes kind. "Name Min," he says quietly. "I've been monitoring him. Something's off." I show him the list of treatments removed from the schedule. He nods slowly. "You're not wrong. Orders came from your mother's authorization." My hands tighten around the clipboard. "She's not a doctor." He lowers his voice. "Neither is your brother, but they act like they own this place." He adjusts the oxygen flow, careful and precise. "I'll keep an eye on him for you," he adds. The words hit me harder than I expect. For the first time in weeks, I don't feel completely alone. Later that day, I return from the cafeteria to find the oxygen tube disconnected. My father's chest rises unevenly, panic flickering in his eyes. I shout for help. Min rushes in, reconnecting the line within seconds. His hands move fast, steady, practiced. When the monitor steadies, he looks at me. "That's the second time this happened," he whispers. "Always when you're not here." I swallow hard. It's not an accident. It's pressure, cruel, deliberate pressure, to make him give up. I lean close to my father, my voice low. "I know what they're doing, Dad. I'll stop it." His fingers twitch faintly, a shadow of our old signal. 2 pulses. "Thank you." That night, Min finds me by the vending machines. He hands me a coffee, still warm. "They won't stop until they get what they want," he says. "Then neither will I reply. Outside, rain taps against the glass, rhythmic and cold. I think of my father's words again. Time is patient, people aren't. I look through the window at the city lights below. Tomorrow, I'll need proof. Not just suspicion. Not just anger. Evidence strong enough to break their grip. The clock on the wall ticks steadily beside me. Every second feels like borrowed time. The days blur together after that. Work, hospital, no sleep, repeat. My body moves, but my mind stays in that cold room. Each time I arrive, my father looks smaller, thinner, fatting. The machines hum like mechanical heartbeats. Min keeps his promise, always there during his rounds. Sometimes he leaves a cup of tea on the nightstand, without a word. My mother hates it. "She's interfering," she complains to the doctor. "She's making him anxious." But the doctor avoids her eyes. He knows the truth too, even if he can't say it. One evening, the sky outside turns purple before the storm. I sit beside my father, holding his hand, counting the seconds between breaths. He stirs, whispering something I almost miss. "Drawer under the cloth." His voice is dry as paper, but the words are clear. I nod, blinking back tears. He's giving me something, a direction, a secret. "Rest, Dad," I whisper. He closes his eyes again, exhausted. That night, I drive home, open his workshop and search. The drawer creaks like it hasn't moved in years. Beneath the felt lining, I find an envelope with my name written on it. My heart races, but I don't open it yet. The phone rings before I can think. It's the hospital. I run. When I arrive, my brother is there with a lawyer in a suit. Papers spread across the rolling table. My mother's tone is sweet but sharp. "Your father needs to finalize his affairs," she says. "He's barely conscious," I snap. "TU letter 1EA5, and slides the pen toward him anyway. "This is mercy," he insists. "Let him rest knowing everything's settled." My father's eyelids flutter. His breathing turns shallow. The monitor beeps faster. "Stop it," I say, stepping between them. The lawyer hesitates. "This isn't appropriate," he murmurs. My mother glares at him. "It's family business." The door opens. Dr. Fan enters, his voice firm. "Enough," everyone out except her. M letter 1EB9 protests, but he doesn't flinch. "If you don't leave, I'll call security." Silence. Then the door slams behind them. My father exhales slowly, his hand twitching toward me. I take it gently, feeling how fragile his skin has become. He squeezes twice. Our old signal. Thank you. Tears spill down my cheeks before I can stop them. I'm here, Dad. I'm not leaving. Outside, I hear their angry voices echo down the hall. Threats, frustration, fear. Inside, everything is still except the soft hiss of oxygen. Min returns quietly with a blanket and places it over my shoulders. They're banned for 4 hours, he whispers. I nod, staring at my father's peaceful face. For the first time, he looks unafraid. I reach for the envelope in my pocket and hold it tight. Whatever it contains, it's his last message to me. The clock ticks softly on the wall. Each second feels like borrowed grace. If this is the beginning of the end, I'll make sure it's on our terms. The funeral feels colder than winter itself. Rain presses against the church windows like quiet hands. My mother stands near the casket, pearls bright against her black dress. TU letter 1EA5 and checks his watch every few minutes, pretending to wipe his eyes. Their grief looks rehearsed, perfect for the audience. I stay near the back, holding the envelope from my father. The one I still haven't opened. After the service, they approach me together, smiles thin as paper. We should settle things today, my mother says softly. It's what your father would have wanted. TU letter 1EA5 and hands me a folder, polished and heavy. Waiver of inheritance rights. The same document from the hospital. I look at it for a long moment. Then I take the pen and sign without hesitation. Their relief is instant, greedy. That's it, TU letter 1EA5 and asks. No arguments. I close the folder and hand it back. Everything's already settled, I whisper. Their smiles falter. My mother narrows her eyes. What do you mean by that? I reach into my coat and pull out the envelope. Inside are 3 papers, folded neatly by a careful hand. The first, a lease for an apartment in my name, dated months ago. The second, a deposit receipt for a small wedding venue. The third, a letter, written in my father's familiar handwriting. I read aloud, just enough for them to hear. Time is the only inheritance worth keeping. TU letter 1EA5 and grabs for the papers, but I step back. Dad knew what you were doing, I say quietly. He watched you take from him. He chose to give differently. My mother's phone buzzes in her purse. She answers it without looking at me. Her expression shifts from annoyance to confusion, then panic. What do you mean the accounts are empty? Her voice rises with every word. There should be over 200,000. The banker's reply crackles faintly through the speaker. All accounts were closed by the holder 6 weeks ago. TU letter 1EA5, and his face drains of color. He turns on me, fury replacing shock. What did you do? I meet his eyes steady. Nothing. You had power of attorney, remember? Rain drums harder against the roof. The funeral director pretends not to hear us. Guests whisper, sensing the rot beneath our mourning. My mother clutches her pearls like a lifeline. You ruined everything, she hisses. No, I say, you did. Outside, the hearse waits in the drizzle, patient and silent. I glance at the casket one last time. Thank you, Dad, I whisper. TU letter 1EA5 and steps forward, but I move past him. He calls my name, voice breaking. I don't turn around. As I walk into the rain, I feel the weight of the old watch on my wrist. Its steady ticking drowns out their shouts behind me. My father's final gift isn't money or revenge. It's peace, and I intend to keep it. The rain doesn't stop that night. It follows me home like a ghost that refuses to fade. I place the envelope on my kitchen table and finally open it fully. Inside is a thin stack of papers, a small photo, and another note. My father's handwriting flows across the page like quiet speech. My daughter, I've watched you carry more than anyone should. You gave time when others took it. This shop, this craft, this patience, these are yours now. My hands tremble as I unfold the papers. It's a transfer of ownership. The repair shop. Signed, sealed, and notarized months ago. He'd already made his decision, long before they tried to force his hand. I imagine him sitting at the workbench, steady and calm, planning this. He must have known what would come. I trace the ink with my finger, whispering, "You were always one step ahead." The photo beneath it shows us in the workshop, laughing over broken clocks. I look younger, carefree, his arm around my shoulders. Behind us, sunlight streams across rows of ticking watches. Every piece of time still alive, still beating. Tears spill before I can stop them. He didn't just leave me a place. He left me purpose. The clock on the wall clicks once, sharp and sure. I wipe my eyes and breathe deeply. The next morning, I visit the shop for the first time since the hospital. Dust covers everything, but the smell of oil and brass feels like home. I run my hand over the counter, where he used to rest his tools. On the wall, his old apron still hangs, creases exactly where his hands once were. The sign outside reads, "Lamb's Time Repair." I take a brush and paint 2 new words beneath it, "and daughter." The letters shimmer in the light. For a moment, I hear his laugh, warm and low. Min appears at the doorway with coffee, his scrubs still on. "You're really reopening it," he says softly. I nod. It's what he wanted. He smiles, placing the cup beside the register. Then, let's make it right again. We work in silence for hours. Wiping glass, sorting tools, polishing cases until they gleam like new. Each sound, a screw turning, a hinge snapping shut, feels like conversation. When I find Dad's magnifying lens, the world sharpens. Every tiny mechanism glints like a heartbeat under light. By sunset, the shop breathes again. Alive. I lock the door, step outside, and watch the sky fade into gold. The city hums, unaware of the small resurrection inside this corner room. I glance at the watch on my wrist, its rhythm unwavering. He's here, somewhere between seconds. I whisper into the quiet street, "I'll keep it ticking, Dad." The air smells of rain and promise. Time moves forward, gentle and endless, carrying his legacy inside each beat. 3 months later, the world feels softer. Morning light spills through the window of the shop. The clocks hum in harmony, hundreds of tiny hearts beating together. I open the door and flip the sign to open. The bell above it rings like laughter. The shop smells of oil, cedar, and something steady, home. My hands move with confidence now. Each tool knows its place. Each tick belongs to a rhythm I finally understand. Customers trickle in, familiar faces from my father's old days. They speak his name softly, as if afraid to disturb the air. "He taught you well," one man says while I fix his pocket watch. Same patience, same care. I smile and nod, my throat tight with pride. Outside, the new sign gleams, "Lamb and Daughter timepieces." Those words still make my heart ache, but not from pain. It's the ache of something finished and still alive. At noon, Min arrives, still in his hospital scrubs. He brings 2 mugs of tea, places one beside my tools. "Busy day?" he asks. "The good kind," I answer. We sit in companionable silence, letting the clock speak for us. He looks around the shop, his eyes soft. "Feels different now," he says. "Peaceful." I nod. He'd like that. My phone buzzes on the counter. A message from my mother. Family dinner. 6 p.m. sharp. Important. 6 months ago, I would have gone, out of guilt or habit. Now I just type 2 words. "No, thanks. I have plans." I power off the phone and return to my workbench. The watch in my hands resists at first, then yields with a gentle click. A perfect fit. Min watches quietly, smiling. You make it look easy, he says. It's not, I reply. But it's honest. Later, as the sun lowers, he reaches for my hand. Ready. I glance at the clock 4:00 exactly. We leave the shop, walking toward the small venue Dad booked months ago. Autumn leaves scatter across the path, glowing like embers. Chaplain Thomas waits under an old oak tree, smiling. No crowd, no spectacle. Just two people who stayed when it mattered most. The ceremony is simple, soft-spoken, full of quiet promises. When Min slips the ring on my finger, I feel the weight of the watch against my wrist. It ticks steadily, as if approving. Later that week, back at the shop, I hang a new photo beside my father's. He's at his workbench, sleeves rolled up, eyes alive with focus. Below it, his letter framed in polished wood. You deserve someone who stays. Don't wait for permission. I touch the glass, smiling. In the corner, a young apprentice polishes a clock case with careful hands. Almost done, she says. Take your time, I reply. The room fills with the sound of ticking, hundreds of moments keeping perfect pace. Time moves on, but it's never lost. It just changes hands. Evening settles over the shop like a warm blanket. The lights glow soft against rows of ticking clocks. Each sound blends into a quiet rhythm of peace. I sit at the workbench, the same one my father built. His photo watches from the wall, eyes steady and kind. The letter beneath it whispers through memory. You've always spent your time wisely. I touch the frame and breathe out slowly. The world outside moves fast, but in here, time behaves. It bends, pauses, listens. Min closes the shop door and turns the key. Ready to go home, he asks softly. In a minute, I say, still winding one last watch. The gears fall into place, the crown clicks perfectly. I lift it to my ear and hear that familiar heartbeat. Each second feels like a gift. I finally understand. I set the watch beside my father's photo. It keeps time flawlessly, unwavering and alive. I whisper to the silence, "We did it, Dad." The clocks answer in chorus, a steady song of forever. Time continues, but so do we, one tick at a time.